So we're asking them to have another value, a service that will add value to what they do. You understand what I'm saying? Because that means that it's already out there from each polling unit from the onset, rather than from social media, which is the case at the moment. So if you can have that on a
so INEC putting it up and it's coming out
from each, right from each.
And it's signed off by
put up immediately.
And then what you now have is that you have some people who will be suitably motivated and they will match up. You will lead by the people like that.
Yeah, of course.
They will sit down and they will match it up by their own work. Like they just said, okay, you don't.
No, I suspect that's what this guy may be doing. That's what the guy is doing.
Yeah, because he has people
People
around.
in solo bar.
Exactly.
Maybe you can
And you now be like, okay, you know what, I want to match it up by unit.
And then it also makes it very easy to see where the fault lines are. Because to your point, part of we can't forget that rigging also is in a lot of cases collusion of communities.
Exactly.
Yes. So they don't necessarily have people vote. Okay, we have extra ballot paper. How do you want to share it? Maybe you give it to everybody will share it and go, because in some areas there are loyalties. So it doesn't. People don't show up to vote. You share the ballots, and people still sign on those things.
Yes.
That doesn't mean the people were there. So 20 people show up. I think it was Jimmy Carter in 2011 that Jimmy Carter, but anyway, one of the foreign observers came to a polling unit. Let's say they had 200 people accredited. By the time they come back at the end of voting, they have voting numbers for 800 people. Where did they manufacture them from?
Right.
So those are that's rigged, but everybody has agreed that this 600 votes will share it, put our candidate to win, and everybody will.
And you can't catch that because they all have PVCs. Like if you have PVCs,
It's
it is a so number, it will be under that number. But of course, there's a lot of room for all of that.
I think what would help is if social media continues to play a strong role. For instance, now we have an idea of how the elections will shoot.
A strong but disciplined role.
Yes, and yes.
Social media. I don't understand why we expect social media to. Sorry, why we expect social media to be perfect? Social media is a reflection. You have to discipline people on social media.
If social media is not properly managed, if anybody, for instance, is seeing guy cheating, if I were alone in my house and I saw Slimbox tweeting, what I would do is I would go and check on the street. One, if he has the word APC
anywhere,
I will come.
Now this
is what she's saying. She's saying that even in society, you have rumor mongers and rumor busters.
Big punch on this day. Big punch this day, guardian of every blessed.
What would happen? YNaija is positioned to do that.
Today, YNaija
So these are results from there, and then you are collating. Eventually, it was a credible platform. Like YNaija was this Slimbox guy.
Yeah.
You know, it might still be believable, you might still think, well, something about would YNaija want to take that risk? Or would the independent platforms would they want to take that risk? And at some point, so because in the American election, nobody waits for the official announcement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody, yes, in Nigeria is illegal. So that's another problem. Everybody collates.
But the beauty,
but
the beauty of what Slim. So in Nigeria it's illegal. The beauty of what Slimbox is doing, that YNaija or YNaija, any other organization can also do. If you collect citizens, is to add it and put it on the screen.
yes.
I have not said everything, but you can add it.
Yes.
Put your Excel.
So
add up, spam.
Now,
multiply, divide.
because what Slimbox is doing now. Well, if I'm a politician in the next state in Adamawa,
I'll get in touch with him.
I'll get in touch with him.
Yeah, get in touch with him.
See, I'm winning.
Which is a
So
separate.
when INEC eventually comes out,
Which is a separate risk.
It's a separate commercial card.
Good. Which what I'm saying that it is not something that one person should be doing. It should be a credible organization.
How did he put this network together?
Yeah.
What is the credibility of this
Of
network?
this network.
And
Yes.
so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to focus on this timeline till the end of this
Yes.
night. Then tomorrow I'll match it up with what.
Yes, what eventually comes out, so that we can know.
I'll see how close or how far, because.
No, but I checked his page and he has obvious APC leanings. You know, there are pictures I think of him making fun of Omishori in the past.
Oh, in the past.
Yeah. In the last,
Someone like me, I would just get turned off immediately. Okay.
in the last,
That's why I don't believe the. I think we're PDP
And I
is going to
think
take
I
that
through
stage.
some results that are coming from the wards. So of course we have Modakeke. I think we spoke about that before we went on our second lunch break. We have APC has 1,000 and PDP has 10. We have Oba Oke and Oba Isalem with 8 in Olonda local government area. PDP 28. Ilesha West, APC 138, PDP 63.
From sling balls.
No. These are results from our reporters coming in.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. These are wards. These are individual wards. You have Lemodu, APC 95, PDP 25. Ijoka, APC 150, PDP 30. PDP 65. OAU Staff School, Ward Unit 5. APC 1. Just ignore him.
OAU Staff School.
Yeah. APC 119, PDP 87. That's
This
close.
is an Ife, by the way.
That's it.
Oba Ile Ward 9, APC 92, PDP 15. Ward 6, 88, PDP 25. Oshobo, let's move to Oshobo now. Let's Ife. Oshobo, APC 160, PDP 30. Unit 2, 166, PDP 20. APC 63, PDP 41. What's funny?
I thought the game can change any time. It's still it's not yet Uhuru.
APC on June 21. This was APC on June 21.
No, it's not yet Uhuru. Let's go.
Let me go back to the results.
This was APC on June 21 anyway. No, but I think APC by this time on that
No,
day,
but the thing is,
No, by 3 p.m.
Oh yeah,
but the thing is, we're getting different results from different camps.
Exactly.
You understand? So
they have shut down the office.
I think sometimes
Can't stop at 3 p.m. Like 2 p.m. They're giving concession tweets.
they started narrating. Oh, I think before 4 p.m. they get that tweeted.
you want to eat a of course, they had agreed. No, because the choice.
Yeah, you are still hopeful.
I'm very hopeful.
But you know, optimism is a very good thing.
I'm very, very
I mean, Nigerian politics is very,
It's
our brand of politics.
I'll tell you why.
He has been led to believe that he would win. And then
Why are you not mentioning it? It's not fact.
yeah, when it is facts and when it's not public. I mean, I know most of us know 2003. Okay, the man announced 2003. When he heard, I mean, they lost central election to win for he thought he could still win. So he started doling out money. That week, so they gave the impression he would win. By that, when he heard, he fainted. They woke him up again. They remembered another song. He stopped. Just like thinking, this was 50 million years ago. You lost your word, and then started trying to call to retrieve the money back. It was so.
Okay, all the vehicle. I think it was from the reports we got, it was kind of like an this is part of the payment. What has run around, yeah.
People take joy in
You tell a very good story, and as about people were still coming to collect it. In hindsight, I can show them just saying this one. I was like, oh yeah, you have money to spend on me.
And I think that this kind of picture that he's talking about now translates off into governance itself.
Mm.
You have your people and they put a wall
Yeah.
when you get out there.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem. And then when you try and carry it, you have to have to only cassava bread. As it is, and not some.
We can't
quick
leave.
one.
Okay, yeah, go.
Quick one before I'll just quickly address why I'm optimistic, why I remain optimistic. It's because results at the moment are coming from different quarters.
Yeah.
Different quarters.
Yeah.
APC, PDP. There is only one body that can give
Actually,
the
yeah.
results, and that is that's I. So I
learned a few years
I
ago.
will defer.
Croydon, but not a Croydon flip. Those are very results, and you almost said
No way.
You know what?
I don't
Having
believe
said
in
that,
that.
a few years ago, I heard
Yeah.
somebody talking about something called the DOMA principle,
Mm.
and this happened in second elections,
Yeah.
where I think DOMA is now in Nasarawa
Nasarawa,
State.
yeah.
But it used to be in Plateau.
Yes.
I think,
Yeah, that's the former governor is from.
it's from
Ali
Ali Afredoma.
Ali
Yeah.
Afredoma,
So
yeah.
so in the elections in that votes
Mm.
or the party in power, the opposition's wins first. So the opposition is leading because you need the all of their votes, and then you can know how much of a margin you
You
need
need to match.
in that place. Of course, it's harder now in the age of social media and all that, but that thing actually is called the DOMA principle. I think it was. I think it was.
I think where for you is where Ogbomoso is counted last.
Yeah, so they hold it. They hold Ogbomoso wherever.
No, but in 2011,
Yeah.
they paid a calabar.
They now did the Ibadan line.
They kept it. Yeah.
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 APC now went to bring it along.
Correct.
They want
Yeah. So that happened.
David Max district.
Yeah.
I think he ran against what's his name?
Young Alaji.
No. Is it not? No, in 2011.
2011.
What's his man's name? This former.
The Democrats not lose as well.
Yeah.
ACN was
On the night,
Yeah.
some people swore
Yeah.
that they might have lost.
Yeah.
Then you know what? This guy is tough.
No, he's
I
not.
don't believe it was real drama because everybody was like, wow, Marcus lost.
No, but there are votes from the land that needed to be brought in.
2011 was the year of the biggest illusion. Was the biggest illusion election year.
What do you mean by that?
2011.
What do you mean?
We thought Jonathan would lose. That's what they told us. They told us
No.
they are taking over the House of Assembly, over the National Assembly.
No, I didn't hear that.
And so,
I didn't hear that.
I didn't
Don't
hear
you?
that.
I didn't hear that.
that's what
Let me remind you. Let me tell you those.
David Marcus Zaraki,
The entire north.
David Marcus Zaraki, Yuguda, all the
They said
CPC
they are
states
lost
were
in
gone.
Niger. They said they are lost in Niger. That Kwara had been taken over by CPC. That in Benue were something lost in Niger.
Yeah.
That they are beating Babangida. I was scared.
Yeah,
I remember,
yes.
Babangida and you. I remember I had to force myself to turn off my internet. I don't want to hear. By morning, the newspapers were still recording. Only to find out it says Saraki man. Trail.
Yeah, exactly.
Newspaper everywhere.
But it was the
Saraki
truth
man,
now. They
trail.
were not-
Yes. So what they were telling us then that was that PDP has lost control of the National Assembly. That the House of Rep that was going to be taken over in Oyo, they were taking us close. Whereas this election was only happening in the southwest. Basically, that was where we were losing.
Or maybe the DOMA
That was
thing
where we were
happened.
losing people.
Or maybe the DOMA thing
So
happened.
eventually,
Yeah, maybe the
even
DOMA.
in Ondo,
Yeah.
people in Ondo, but eventually what happened? You had
Overturn.
and that was like what happened.
Benue or not?
Yeah.
So, yes,
Yeah, once that was so close, even
Yeah.
the final results was so close.
Once
That will never get it.
once the margins are going to be close, that thing happens often. So you just keep the votes. Once your opponent has exhausted,
Then you bring out yours.
just push it out.
I think it's just an illusion that people just do themselves in the last minute. Hold on.
Like
Like Akinbaye.
Maybe this time we don't. Yeah,
Elisha.
Yeah.
PDP. Well, according to what Slimbox is saying, APC is, I think, leading with 70,000 votes or something.
The margin
Imagine,
is
they're leading with like, yeah, imagine.
That's
But if
Slimbox.
PDP just comes out with, 80,000 votes.
No,
It's
but from another very reliable source, I'm getting current figures of APC 166 and PDP 115, which is the margin is
It's not,
close
but it's
enough.
not, but it's not that. It's not
No, I mean,
For me, I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the numbers.
APC
The
166
other
and
trends, that election,
PDP
what I
115.
try to look at, that's what
That's
you
like
can
50.
call the election.
That's like
is
50.
How are the results playing out? Now, if you look at them, APC is defeating PDP flawlessly in any place they are defeating them. Whereas in places where the PDP
It's not enough match.
it is a very close matching. They are very close matching. APC is beating them out of say and they are beating them flawlessly. So I think one thing should be certain by now that Commission will not pick 25% in 20 local governments. In 20 local governments, including some local governments in Israel. And then the indication of Ede, where Ede goes, you say once Ede is called, once Ede is announced, whoever wins Ede, I think it's safe to say, but for me personally, no, I'm waiting for the official announcement. I'm waiting for the official announcement.
We're waiting for the official
what we
announcement.
have. So it's not really the numbers for me, it's the trends, how the trends are played out, and it's easy to say are personalized.
What we're going to do now, we're going to take a few comments on Twitter using the hashtag Ocean Design because that's the most popular hashtag today. And we have Kayode Akintemi who works for Channels, I believe.
Yes.
And he said the election today has gone without any serious breach of peace or any hitch. The exit polls indicate that the incumbent leads. Samson Itodo of Info Nigeria. I know he's with a radio station, 95.1. I'm not sure.
No, Samson is is an observer.
Yeah, he has a program
On radio now.
Yes, I know that's what I know. And he's saying, if you can, please follow the results of the collation centers. Vigilance is at this critical stage. Bukola Saraki says, of Oshun. And I have this very hilarious picture of someone with his bum on the floor and his legs in the air. Result of the jubilation by APC supporters in front of PDP campaign office in Oshobo. Atiku Abubakar says, I see results. I mean, I'm just reading randomly, I see results from Oshun polling units in line with INEC directives. INEC must ensure the will of the people is not subverted. Again, you can see, you can from the comments, you can start to pick the bit of, crying wolf, in advance. There are tweets from, YNaija says, interesting, right in front of the PDP secretariat here in Oshobo, APC won with 172 votes. PDP got 64, and the Labour Party, with the person who is the man of the people, got 2.
I don't know why you're attacking she read my introduction. I'm pro PDP.
But I kind of assertions, insisting that INEC should do what is right and all that, because I have been quietly influencing results being bandied around. What I'm saying, it's true. I can but I have to play. I can influence. Yeah. Guys who are,
It's not impossible.
it's not impossible. And then they put no, the results were coming out word by word. people were rejoicing.
People
were sending
them out.
Yes, tweeting them out. Yes, we're getting them.
So we already formed it already.
So the same is happening now.
But we were not calling on INEC to make sure that you announce the real
result as 647,000. So now the first argument one PDP 16.
Okay, sorry, can we go around the room? Can we call it?
Call this election.
Yeah.
It's obvious now. Except I might choose Labour Party. He might say he will still
You think Labour is still in the fight?
I'm looking at I'm seeing I don't know, 65, 35.
Yeah, I think you said that earlier.
No. I didn't say anything.
I said 70
It said 70, 30
in favor of PDP.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think I'm seeing.
Which I still
Stand by.
stand by.
70-30, yeah.
Now, at this point, may I modify my prediction?
50-50.
I'll say 51, 52, 48.
So
In favor of
still
PDP,
itself,
still.
right? Okay,
Thank you.
Okay. Yemi?
That's an Akimbade in the making.
Yeah.
I said 65, 35.
Joachim?
The gap is open.
And my 40 will be
By the end of
everybody.
the next it's not pretty substantial. So I think 70-30 sounds like
You're not even giving Labour. Not me giving Labour Party
I think
anything.
my own 40 includes all of them.
I would say we couldn't see anything more than
58%.
42 for everybody else.
42 for everybody else, yes.
Okay.
58%.
Ayo Kule.
90, 95.
60 points.
Oh.
Okay.
You were talking about a landslide before.
I know.
It's not like that.
It's not a landslide.
It's not like 65, 35.
He wants to be able to use the word landslide.
Yeah, that's very important.
So I really like if INEC to do that, would have official polling unit results on
Yes.
the Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
so interesting because then it will now fall on us now to now
But
arrange
do you know that can lead to more
And-
court cases if you make a single mistake. There was this analysis I was checking, the what's it called?
Yeah.
The results. And one of the results from one of the results had a particular candidate had 13,394, and he still lost to the candidate who had 4,900. Okay, so when someone commented that also so it's
No. They think that actually, as an organization, what we're trying to work on is a photograph of the sheet. So that way, it's not susceptible to typing.
Yeah.
So you have that as proof, and you can get software
Yes.
to scrape the data.
Mhm.
and
Oh, okay.
check it.
Instead of,
And
yeah,
then
because of
videos,
mistakes
but
in
at least-
typing.
Exactly, but at least the picture serves as
but I think we just need more independent observers doing this.
Yeah.
More credible independent
In actual
observers
fact,
doing
you
this.
Can we
can-
actually talk about 2015 elections? I mean, so far we think that, or we believe, I think there's a general consensus in the room that INEC has kind of reached a comfortable place. I mean, judging from Anambra, judging from Edo, we can say that they're getting a little more confident with the way they're handling the
Yeah, I think
elections.
so.
They're, especially with the Citizens Contact Center they set up, they're reaching out to people a bit more. They're taking on, they're actually going as far as taking reports from the public and then coming back to debunk some of them that, look, this report was false. So there's been quite a bit they've done. But I'm looking at 2015 and saying, elections in 2015 is not one state at once. It's like 3 weeks of boom, 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 elections.
Yeah.
And this is now 900 and something thousand people. 2015, we're looking at the entire country. When we look at the presidential elections, we're looking at least 60% of the country. When we look at the remaining states, do you think INEC is ready?
It's not even. I mean, when you were saying that, it's not the capacity should not even just for INEC, even for Twitter, even for social media.
Yes.
going to be a big
Exactly,
capacity.
yeah.
People are going to focus on like Lagos. I mean, a lot of people focus on like Lagos, and Kano, a few states, and there will be states that will slip under. But going back to INEC, to be honest, I have no confidence whatsoever at the moment.
Really, why?
Yeah, because look, as she has pointed out, what we've been saying is single elections. Single elections, and this is going to be 30, 20 something governorship elections.
Yes.
And how many weeks of elections? We're going to have a couple of weeks of elections.
I think now INEC has
Just 2 weekends.
Oh, 2 weekends.
No, I think I've made 2 weekends.
No, it's 2 weekends. So
two successive.
2 weeks.
Two consecutive.
Then they have a weekend between.
Okay.
I think there's one presidential is February 14th.
Yeah.
Then February 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have
Now, what will happen is that if we've made the connection between the militarization and the sort of seeming success of INEC, how do you militarize a whole nation? How do you do that? And then the elephant in the room will be Borno, Yobe,
yeah.
Borno State especially. Will there be elections? Will there not be? Will they
be able to take the state back to
Yeah.
Boko Haram?
I think if INEC would work with security outfits, they might be able to have a good outing. In what sense? In the sense that what are the key elections? Or where would the flashpoints be? Which elections will be tough?
All the elections.
Well, all might seem tough, but you know where to. Where the battle is.
PDP, knowing that 98%.
They're not living it. But you know where you're deploying people to. You know where you're deploying more people to. You know where the security, the intelligence agencies will still do that. SSS will still say, okay, this is Bayelsa. There's no problem in Bayelsa. Send 500 SSS guys there. Whereas a place like Borno, if you're going to hold the election there,
Can I counter that? We have a government that have shown themselves incapable of determining by themselves which states need protection and which states don't. Problem I have with militarization. While I agree that it has brought some peace, while I agree it has brought some order, I do not understand how the people in Borno are saying we are under police, and the people in these election states, these days,
Because it is simple. It is simple, really, if we look at it. The government cannot abdicate its responsibility to other citizens because some citizens are under threat. If the crisis in Osun state, if an Osun crisis, no, the government cannot abdicate its responsibility to the rest of us because there are problems in Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe. We cannot ask the military men on duty in the Niger Delta to leave the Niger Delta and all head to Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe. That would be funny. Because look, if there are elections and people die in Osun, somebody somewhere will ask Jonathan why he did not take steps.
So what happens to the people who have been dying every single day in Borno, in Yobe, in Adamawa?
You still cannot commit all your resources to those 3 states.
Because saying not being increased. Given what has happened in Borno since, let's say, for the sake of argument, since January of this year, Borno should technically be the safest state in this country.
Yes,
technically, but it is not because you have not seen a commensurate.
It's not a question of increasing your military mind.
Okay, it's not.
It's a question of deepening your intelligence. Let me explain to you. What it means is this.
Does your intelligence not
it's not a war.
Does your intelligence not
It's not a war. So more soldiers that. It's not a deploy more soldiers.
Intelligence transfer military might from a hammer.
Thank you. We haven't seen any of that.
We have. But in the past 2 months, while Boko Haram has been forced to change tactics, they don't use their mail bombers anymore. They use suicide bombers now. So in the past 2 months,
I'm talking about Borno. Sorry, let's look at Borno. I'm talking about Borno.
In the past 2 months, more Boko Haram insurgents have been arrested, more masterminds have been arrested.
Which masterminds? Unless we're not really
more operations have been diffused. Now we are hearing stories of people going with bombs, and the bombs are caught.
Outside of Borno, in Borno, 3 cities are under Boko Haram flag.
Don't you understand?
Precisely.
They are not aware.
Yesterday, the military changed them to go down.
But the report again this morning said it wasn't really true.
Whether
What
they are
happened?
not, whether they are
God BBC has said it's
let me
not.
understand that. Whether they insurgency by its very nature. Insurgency by its very nature. What it does is that they strike in one place, and they try to drag.
Choma has decided.
Okay, Choma has decided.
This is
Choma
not-
took us to
This
go
is
back.
not
And then
democracy.
left us there.
But you know how brilliant would this be if I could decide elections by just a human?
People are doing
This
it.
Nigeria.
People are doing it.
I will have
only
to
do one
be
election.
Oh
very close
yes, seeing as you have ambition.
to ambition.
Many of you have political ambition. It's Demola.
Ambitions. Well, why did you start with?
No, because we're taking you. We're going back to your initial
Yeah.
assertion.
Yeah.
Okay, that initial assertion. Well, for me, I believe that every youth presently, you cannot be too politically conscious without having political aspirations. Of course, I'm not going to politician. I'm not going to use my own to get politics. I'm not going to use my own to campaign.
Whose money will you use?
But or if the party wants to
Crowdsourcing.
for me, I believe, it's easier for you. Yes, it's noble to conceive an agenda, and what I've seen people get wrecked, and I'm saying this personally, I've seen people get wrecked by committing their own personal fortunes into the process of running elections. I mean, it can. One man, one PDP senatorial candidate, he walked into water. He walked into the water in that session. You know what I'm talking about now? May God rest his soul. You know the man, senatorial candidate in 2011.
Yeah, what happened?
He walked into canal that he started saying so that he wanted to ease himself and so on and so forth. You didn't know the man.
Oh, in Lagos,
Yes,
in Marina.
Did he walk into the
That
water
story-
to kill himself, or did he? Was it an
There
accident?
are 3 versions of that story.
Yes, some say it was suicide, some say it was an accident.
There are 3 versions of that story, at least 3, or at least 2. One of them said it's an accident that he.
What me I know is that for a sane man to park his car and want to ease himself in the canal and so
Canal.
I don't know. But you know what? But the fact is, if you use your own money,
I don't know. I wasn't there.
your hard
I'm not
earned
saying
money,
that they are
if you commit it into politics, it's difficult. And then it's easier for them to deceive you when you are the one who conceives the agenda. So yes, I would like to run one day.
Yes.
I would like to run one day, but I wouldn't impose. I wouldn't say, oh, this is what I'm going for, and then come out and start campaigning for it. If I join a political party, they like me, they decide to field me, they decide to spend the money for me, I'll campaign. I'll show them my fire shape qualities and try to put up a good fight.
You have political ambition. I mean, you're from Edo State, am I right?
Rivers State.
Rivers.
So I've looked.
So it's Julius Abu and Igor.
I said say legal job.
Why? He might have good intentions for the state.
But you know, that's just it on me. I've looked, you see, I've looked at politics. I've looked at a lot of things, how politicians rise and fall. And I think that political office by and large is overrated. By and large. I prefer to be the person controlling candidates, specific candidates of my choice or our choice. For example, if we had a collective where we back specific candidates of specific offices, I prefer to do that kind of thing than actual political office. I think political office is mostly overrated. Mostly. And this goes even for so-called advanced democracies. Mostly overrated. If you actually go behind the scenes to how decisions are actually made, you realize that mostly they are overrated. Political decisions belong in the hands of corporations now. So they bankroll you, and then they now give you their specific agenda for you to push, and then you push it, and then that's it. So that's what I prefer to do. Political office by itself
I think it
doesn't interest me.
sorry, Chairman, what I would really like to do, even more than campaigning for myself, would be to work for a candidate, a serious candidate who wants to win, who has the money to win, who has the guts to win, and who can listen to me.
Who wants the
To
audacity
win,
to
yeah. I think one of the noble things. I don't know him well.
You don't know how much money he
I mean,
has.
after spending the day with him, you don't know him.
No, I do. Of course, I know a lot about him now. But I know most candidates like to run their own thing. But I think we should come to a point where you have campaign managers. My greatest idols will be people like Haruf of the Republicans or David Axelrod. I'm not really fan of them at all. Someone like Haruf, someone who They are political. They are the ones who make the things happen. They are the ones behind it. They are the ones who know. And these people, you know, there's a way they work. They do things the candidates cannot do. They do stuff the candidates cannot not even think of. So I think even more noble than being the man who contests.
You want to be the man behind the scenes. Okay, so let's keep going around the room. Yemi, political ambition?
No.
Not at all.
Why?
I mean, choice.
I want to be president.
Is it LP type of president?
Oh God, these are not you.
No, I was just asking, you know, how bad he wants to be president.
Oh, yeah, you would like me to be your campaign manager?
Yeah, so I will make.
Although first I will tell you that you can't choose me as your campaign manager, you have to choose an outside guy. So you can't.
I'm not outside.
You're halfway.
You're halfway. So, political ambition.
Yes.
What do you have your sights on?
Eventually.
President?
No,
Will we see you running against Ayo
No, I'm a man of modest ambition. I will. No, actually, so I would like to go into politics eventually, you know, but via appointed office, you know, before elective. You know, I don't. Elective will be. Even though I fantasized about the idea of going to elective office at the local government level, you know, that seems a bit more manageable. But the more likely route seems to be appointed office, you know, and of course, you know, we've seen people, you know, Fashola came into politics as, you know, even before chief of staff, he was first. It was an essay. No, he was before chief of staff. The first time he was. He must have been an essay. Yeah, he was something before chief of staff. You know, so you know, there's. Yeah, politics.
I mean, there's no point asking, do you have political ambition? You're already oiling your guns for 2015.
For 2015, yes. I decided to go into politics because I have some clear-cut understanding of the political climate, and I feel that the earlier we reconfigure our political landscape, the better for us. We have some artificial barriers that have been installed in our psyche over time as a people. What we need to do is to come together. And when we understand the barriers and why they are there, then we would understand how to go around them. You know, we have the barriers of religion, which is artificial. We have the barriers we have the barriers of ethnicity, which is equally artificial. These are really strong barriers in our politics, and unfortunately, both of them are due to the accident of birth, largely, you know. And then we have the geographical location. You choose to live in Lagos. You're from Ondo State. And if a young person is contesting in Ondo State, you can be like, oh, it doesn't affect me immediately. So we have that NIMBY, not in my backyard attitude. Yeah. Then we have the understanding of the cash intensiveness of politics. So it scares all of us away. You know, so these are things that are really in our psyche. Imagine that if we were going to drill down and say why is it that we are getting the kind of leaders that we have at the moment? Leaders that are not really, to a large extent, serving us, you know, that we can clearly say they're serving us. It's not their fault. It's because we have played the it's all violent or it's all cash intensive. I mean, let me just leave it. We've all left things in the political.
It's not cash intensive.
No, it is, but it's not impossible to solve it. So we've all decided to move away from the scene because of things that are merely that we needed to just think through and solve. You understand what I'm saying? We allowed it to go on for too long. Funding is the biggest challenge for the political class. A lot of the people in elective offices have bright ideas. A lot of them are bright. But how about people who arrive dead on arrival? who arrive either owned. It's not a big problem having a financial godfather, but is your financial godfather development focused? Is he future focused? No, I don't have at the moment. I'm not looking for. My funding model is the average Nigerian, and it applies to a lot of people on campaign.ng as well. You can look it up. We're pioneering. We're pushing as much as possible for crowdfunding.
Okay, we're soon going to start taking advertisement.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I mean, we should actually, we will send you an invoice right after now.
Okay, please.
Since
do.
you've taken up quite.
It's not probably a storm speech.
I'm telling you, Chairman has decided we're going to go back to the election. We're going to go back to and we're going to put ourselves in the place of political advisors. So let's say you could say something to APC. Let's say APC was listening. What would you say to APC? And we're going to go around again. We're going to say something to PDP. And we're going to go around. Finally, we're going to say something to LP. And then on that.
Do we have to say something else?
Please.
But, okay.
I am going to say something. It will still all of us.
No, I mean, it's just that, we keep talking about, this party didn't do that right, this party didn't do that right. If you could change something, what would you change? What would you do? So that we don't just keep, waddling around in the problems. We must propose solutions.
APC first, eh?
Yeah, let's start APC.
Are we starting?
Let's start with Joachim.
APC need more routes. They need more routes. They need like 15 more routes and just let them loose. They need to look for all the states. Pick one person that is similar to him who can connect with people and just let the guy loose on the electorate. Because more and more, the more I think about these 4 years, the more I look at the serial missteps. I think that what happened in APC is the one-off, and APC can become just a bump in the road for the APC if they simply recalibrate and choose better candidates. I think that they will be fine. Overall, I think they will be fine. But they need more people like YNaija2015 because I have never seen. In fact, it's a long time. I saw somebody campaign like that. It's a long time. It's a hard campaigner. Local government to local government, he's on it every time. He brings the crowds, he brings the people, he has the legal, he has everything. It's difficult to find people like that. If you can get such people, then you pass. ABC will be a force, but they need to leave all this theory and whatnot. It's good when you are in power. When you're not in power, you can't execute policy. You need to get in power first. And so you need to win. And Ralph is a winner. He's clearly a winner.
I don't think the APC will be able to get any other referendum because there's only one. Yeah, really, because Ralph YNaija2015 was an institution in Lagos State before he went to become the governor of Osun State. So Ralph YNaija2015's election, Ralph YNaija2015's re-election agenda was a personal matter for K1 the Ultimate. Was personal. Their friends. Was a personal matter for someone like Entiolo, the former NURTW chairman in Lagos. Was a personal matter. They took it personal. That would personally do that, and for many other financiers. So you cannot have that replicated in other states. So for like let's just do it because it's for the Raoult issue.
It's a personal.
Yes, it was that personal friendship built over the years. So they might not be able to replicate that. But my message to APC would be that don't get carried away by this victory. This is not a sign. Yes, if it's a victory. If INEC goes there and asks, don't get carried away. It is time for you to put in hard work. And I think it will also be a good time for Tinubu to surrender the political leadership of the Southwest, as it were, to Ralph YNaija2015. What that will do is to try to create a new ideological base from which APC can spring from. I don't think APC will win presidential election in 2015, but I think they can. From there, they can use it to bury some politicians, among whom should be Buhari, the Tinubus of this world, and so on. And then now bring up a new ideology. So it's not time for APC to celebrate. And then politically, they should get working in Oyo State, Ogun State. The only way they can win those two states will be to have free and fair primaries. Don't give them a
Don't annoy it.
yes, don't anoint
Else they will lose
those
that.
or else
It's so close.
yes, it is very close. And in Lagos too, which is their base, I think they should come back from. They have Osun now. Come back to Lagos. Tinubu needs to sit down at home and try to base that on Godfather. You know, try and win Lagos.
Yeah.
This imposition, yes,
Stay at home, daddy.
this imposition of Ambode on Lagos will not work. May offend somebody like that. So we will not even for one moment think that Arabeshola won because I think he shouldn't even think like that. So he shouldn't think like that. Then it's not for 1 minute. Let not think that platform helped Arabeshola. It was, it was strictly yes, it was Arabeshola. The platform helped here, but it was more of Arabeshola.
I think people in the Southwest, this election is pointed to the fact that they did not vote for the party, they voted for the candidate of the choice. So I still see them going around being charged. They're still presidential. I see them going around being charged. They should not feel because if Raouf had contested as an independent candidate, he would have beaten anybody. He's as charismatic as that. Like, so they shouldn't feel debarred. You saying they should hand over the structure, forget now.
The structure.
There are too many. You think someone like Amusu would say yes to and stuff like that.
You mean that
The structure of the APC in the South, like the leadership, Tinubu's role. You know they call him Tinubu basically because he led Tinubu's total age. I don't agree with that. I feel they shouldn't be overjoyed. We won the election and the state is the guy knows how to play his politics properly. The people there too, I think they are like, I don't want to say anything about really good people, but they are like him too, you know.
How can you say that? They're like him Moses. I'm not like him, I'm
Okay.
I'm so much like him.
Okay, I don't like him.
I don't know it's more or less the last guy.
Okay, let's not, can we keep exactly.
No, Rascal is just an adjective, it's not an insult. It's not meant
Okay, he's a man.
You know, they say Atalanta. You know, like he just likes, this. But I don't know if you understand.
As you can see, he has returned, so he's working for him.
Yes.
Well, he has not yet returned. Can we be clear?
Yeah, let's
Not
be
yet
clear.
returned because INEC has not officially said
declared.
we are, yeah.
They should waste that.
So, message to APC.
Well, so
Message to APC,
So,
please.
but the APC will clearly need to not allow this to get to their head. It's a big danger that this would get to their head, and there will be plenty of what your guys call hobby or tongue out. Yeah, there will be the temptation to do that to PDP.
Yes.
We told you so and all that. But look, this journey is a long one. This is a battle. The war is still
Still very
a
hard.
long one, a long distant one, and this one is just one more battle in the way. So APC should not allow themselves to get carried away, and this should also make APC, the changes that we saw just before the elections, the sort of wisening up.
Yes.
Let's hope that it doesn't end.
Yes.
So they should, in fact, after these elections, APC should act as though they lost. They should act like they lost, and just continue that wising up going forward.
Message to APC.
Yeah.
Even though you're a member of the PDP, message to APC.
It's fine. The PDP is not. We won't wish our opponents bad. Yeah, we wish them. We wish to defeat them at the ballot box, but it's not definitely not do or die. For me, I think that the APC should look inwards and decide that they want to be contextual in their governance strategies wherever they find themselves in government. You cannot apply the same strategy across all the states that you're ruling. What applies in Osun will definitely not work, may not work for you in Ogun, may not work in Edo, because the dynamics are different. To have that one strategy that they're deploying everywhere. So they're not context sensitive, and I wish that going forward they will take this on board and not say it's coming from the other side of the fence. Then the other thing is, I think the APC should decide consciously to become democratic, to have internal democracy. Like this case of Ambode and all, I can tell you clearly, I know a couple of young APC guys. APC, the leadership is losing its base. The people who feel that we're working, we're here, we're the food soldiers, they feel that they do not have a say. They're marginalized. Not even just marginalized, they cannot have a say. It's been clearly, that's the picture they get. So it's like you feel you're making progress at the top, but the termites are eating buttholes into sorry about that, buttholes into the entire fabric of the system, into the entire structure. And once that becomes too hollow, the weight of the top will crush, and it all comes crashing. I think the APC should be careful, because they're getting uncomfortably close to that point. But it's good for my party anyway.
Yeah. I think there's two things. I mean, I think APC needs to create some narrative that makes sense, that's beyond everything and then secondly, I think as Tinubu said himself, power is not served à la carte. So all the young people in APC that are complaining about this, Tinubu did this, Ashura did this, that one did that, we just need to get together and step up and take. I mean, nobody's going to hand over the reins of the party to you. So if you think the party could be run differently, could be run better, you want them to be, then step up and challenge them. At the end of the day, we keep talking back to this point about youth in politics and youth in governance. If the young people numbers are truly on your side, then leverage that and sort of marshal that strength. So you might not have the cash that they have, but the numbers are there. They should turn it in their favor and stop whining about what they're doing.
Okay, so we've gone around for the APC. My 2 cents will generally be just wrapping up what everyone has said. APC needs to realize that it's not over. As a matter of fact, the game's just begun. And apart from consolidating on this one win, which to my mind is kind of like, which should kind of like wipe their tears from Ekiti, because I'm sure Ekiti at some point must have been a shocker. Not just the fact that they lost, because they must have known they were going to lose at some point, but I think the way they lost. So I think it's just generally what everyone has said. They need to realize it's not over. They need to go back. They need to figure out. I personally believe you cannot keep saying Sprite is bad. What is the alternative to Sprite?
Sprite, yeah.
Is it Coke? Is it Fanta? Is it Jack Daniels? Is it something?
Is it Alomo?
Is it Alomo? But you really but you can't just keep saying Sprite is bad.
Elitist.
I have my confidence. I'm a woman of the people. I have my
A woman of the people who don't know.
Anyway, APC needs to come up. If you want to be the alternative, be the alternative.
But that analysis is hard for me because, I mean, if you put it in APC PDP terms, it would have to be Coke saying Sprite is bad. Because they're both parties. So you're saying some product is bad. So you're saying because Sprite is bad, therefore drink Alomo. But you're not telling me what Alomo has to offer and how is it exclusive.
Exactly.
So actually, you've already set yourself as an anti-Sprite, as a product option.
No, I think, okay, maybe what I was trying to say was, don't just keep shooting down, or don't just keep, saying Sprite is bad. Tell me Coke is good, but
tell me why.
Exactly. For you to tell me Coke is good, I need to know what Coke will do for me that Sprite isn't doing.
Does it matter? Would it matter?
It does. I think it gives. I mean, we said this morning that voters are starting to think.
Yeah.
The electorate, they're starting. I mean, there's a lot more thought.
We said that in the morning,
Yes,
and then we said in the afternoon that it does not matter. I mean, it's hard for APC to come up with this is what we would do. When their governor in Kano State is doing that, the governor in Borno State is doing that, Amenchi is doing this. It's not like the party is there's party discipline. It's not like there's a party ideology. It's not like it can't even be called a progressive party anymore. You understand? So they've lost that basis. So if APC comes up now and says, okay, this is what we're going to do for Nigeria, somebody somewhere is bound to remind them that are you doing it? Are you doing it? That's fine, no matter. But are you doing it in Borno State? Are you doing it in River State? So it's I don't know if APC will be able to do that. That's why I said let them lose first.
And then
now you can't their godfathers.
No, I think it's
So can we talk to PDP now? We're going to go, right side of the room, starting from draft, we're going to start from Yemi. Yemi, message to the PDP.
Yeah, largest party. I don't know. I mean,
Party as a party.
there's no incentive. Yeah, I really don't have anything to say to PDP.
You think we're perfect already?
Beyond words.
Well, we don't think we're perfect at the moment. We're working on refining ourselves as much as possible.
And our oil.
We're refining our skills, our offerings to the Nigerian people, and but we like I always say, no party in Nigeria is perfect for now, but PDP remains the only truly democratic internally, the party that is internally democratic. So I think the PDP should keep that up. The fact that anyone, anywhere, whoever you are, no matter who you are, children of nobody have stepped up in PDP without having been told to get out of the room for now. Let's conclude our discussion. So I think PDP has done quite well. But there is still a lot of room to improve, especially in the inclusion. There is a 30% inclusion for youths that PDP is pushing, and 35% inclusion for women that the party is pushing. I think they should actually let this translate into how political elective positions are arranged, or I mean how it plays out finally. I think that will really convince people that Nigerians that the party is actually working on itself and delivering on its promises. And then the other one will be that all of these there are challenges everywhere. There are challenges of people moving from one end of the pitch to the other. I think we've gotten to the point where we should understand that politics is a family thing, really. We're all in the same family. We're all Nigerians. We're all joined together. And we don't have any other place we call home. So it's not, there should be no politics of bitterness across the country, and this applies to both parties.
Okay.
We should be more accepting of each other.
I think the PDP, so just the same way that, the same message for the APC, which is that don't get overconfident. After APC, we had all sorts of boasts. And this was the beginning of the conquest of the Southwest. Yeah, we heard there was also so I think that, and then it also seemed to me to affect the way. I mean, I still don't understand how Anomi showing with the kind of stuff hanging over him, why they allowed him to be the face of the party. But I guess maybe they thought, look, if we got away with it in Ekiti, without thinking that, look, the two parties and the states are not the same, the people are not the same, and all that. So the opponents are not the same. So the lesson is, look, the overconfidence will not kill you, and the overconfidence is likely to even continue into 2015 being the sort of national party. There's what we are seeing now is that politics more and more unpredictable. And nobody should come into it thinking that anything is that short.
Okay, I believe the PDP first of all made a mistake, showing the mission which is flawed personality and antecedents, and they are still the party to beat. I feel they are very realistic. They are kind of a branding as a party. They should just reduce their arrogance after winning Ekiti. They also have some kind of approach. Conquest. Yeah. No, it doesn't happen that way. And then they should not basically anyway, but they should try to present more presentable candidates.
I think for me, I would first want to congratulate President Jonathan for losing this election, to clear some doubts and lies that we have been telling him about the Southwest. Then I want to congratulate Adamu Mahazu too. I think this is his first baptism of fire since becoming national chairman of PDP. Then I would also like to urge the president, the PDP member, to, as a matter of urgency, sack the Minister of Police Affairs.
Okay.
This coming week. Daily Alation. Yes, because what happens actually is because that state, Osun State, is still salvageable. You can still scrap votes from there. You don't have to lose in Osun 2015. Because presently PDP is a brand that stinks in Osun. It's a brand that, and it will stink even further once the results are out. You know, to start stinking more. More candidates will decamp. Those who have senatorial ambitions will wonder what will happen to us. So rather than lose, sack that man. Adamu Mahazu should call a meeting of all PDP stakeholders. Somebody like Alhaji Fatai Akinwale who decamped, let them call him. Oyinla may be gone for good, but you can still bring other people back, other PDP factions back. So I think let them end this myth of Omishori. Because Omishori was saying himself as what's this guy now? Mini or Fayoshe to the president. That what Fayoshe can do in Ekiti, I can do in Osun. The same way it is with Fayoshe in Ekiti. The same way it is with me, you know. So that myth has now been busted. So I think that's why I congratulate the president. So let him banish Obishori from seeing his face for some months, and then try to to salvage the state.
Joachim, and we need to.
Yes, the PDP since 1999 in power almost for 15 years, mostly unbroken. They've proven to be part of politics, but not of policy, and so that's the first thing. Too much politics, not enough of policy. So you
What
have
does it cost?
exactly. They have survived thus far because of the electoral system that comes from having the presidency. But the thing is, I think that for them to imagine that it will go on indefinitely, it will be a big mistake because if not the APC, then some other party is eventually going to rise up and then put them in their place. I think it's time that they present better candidates. I'm hearing a lot of talk about Jimmy Agbaje on the PDP platform in Lagos State. In that scenario, Lagos people win. PDP or APC don't win. Lagos people win because then you have two people who are likely to be. Either way you go, you get a decent deal.
Yeah, it won't be a.
But now you have a scenario where the choices are becoming a bit starker, and so the candidate that the PDP has been able to get away with over time is going to be less and less. They are going to be less and less able to do so. And I think that the time has come for them to look at the way they choose their candidates very well. Because like they've said, the Obishore brand was never going to work. It's not like the Fayoshe was in a bit savage, but this other man was never going to work.
It could have worked.
So they need to give us better candidates to choose from. And I think that now the incentive is there because if APC goes together as I ideally hope they do, then you will begin to see the PDP reacting kind and give us better candidates. But that is what they need to do right now.
Okay. So with those final words, I think we agreed earlier that there was no need giving any words to the Labour Party.
Yes, exactly.
I think they can just take on what we've said to the APC and the PDP. Assuming that, like we all agreed earlier, the elections are not yet conclusive. Results can still change. Things, wonders and awesome things have been known to happen in politics. So there's still a chance that, and Nigerians, we like this story about the underdog, so anything can happen really. But on that note, we've come to the end of our situation room today, and I must thank you all very, very much. Since War Room caused a bit of, a ruckus on Twitter this morning, but we've come to the end of our War Room, YNaija2015 War Room today. I'm really excited that, you guys came, really excited about the quality of the discussions, the back and forth has been really enlightening. Learned a few things about, the history of the state from everyone. And so I must thank Femi Adamalekun, I must thank Kazim Sunusi, I must thank Tolu Ogunlesi, Ayo Kunle or De Kunle. Too many Kunles, but sounds really great. I must thank Demola Rewaju, I must thank Joachim Makebo. I must also thank Belumi, who worked with the people at CC Hub, Malaika, Lai, to ensure that everything was up and running. I must thank the guys from Oracle, Biodun and Taiwo, who set us up with Endepa, who gave us, gave us access to the stats and their feed. I must thank Samson, who's been behind the camera. I must thank Dotun, who's been tweeting furiously. I must thank everyone who's tuned in, who's followed the conversation from when we started broadcasting about 1:20, 1:30 p.m. And I mean, I want to urge you to keep, stay with YNaija2015 for election reporting like you've never seen before. We're still on. We've got our reporters now at INEC headquarters. Our live blog is done. The situation room, war room is done. But we've got our reporters at waiting for the results. And as the results start to trickle out, we will tweet. We will let you know. But I mean, I think we already called it here. And our predictions, YNaija2015, were never wrong. So thank you again, and have a good night.
And that brings us to why, don't cut it yet, why we don't see the photographer in the picture. You haven't said anything about yourself. We thank you too for bringing us, for pulling this together.
I was wondering how.
She was.